going on, guys? Sergeant's Tech Tips. Welcome to another video on my channel. Welcome to the first Mini-ITX build of the channel. We're going to be building a Core i3 12100 system. This is going to be for a customer that's just using their computer as, you know, a daily computer, email, browsing the web, all that fun stuff. So we've got the Core i3 12100. I believe it's 4 cores, 8 threads, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say yes. I don't know, like off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure it's 4 cores, 8 threads. That's why I chose this chip. But we also got the 500 gigabyte WD Blue SSD, and then we have a 3200 kit of DDR4 from G.Skill. This is the G's. I don't know how to pronounce that. Aegis. You can correct me in the comments below. We've got the ASRock H610M ITX AC motherboard. This is going to be the Mini-ITX motherboard. And then we've got the Inwin Choppin Max cases, which is what it's going to be going into. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to prepare the case first, just because it's tiny, and it would be a lot easier to prepare that first. We also have this external DVD driver, or DVD burner, because they want a DVD burner, or DVD writer, sorry, and the case doesn't support it, so we couldn't put one in there. But, alright, so I got the case. I'm going to pull it out of the box. Here is the case. Like I said, it's a very, very tiny case. That's why we're doing a Mini-ITX build. They don't need much, and these Core i3s take nothing for power, and they're fast little buggers too, and this is going to be great for the customer. It also comes with different color platings, and if you guys want to get any of the parts, they'll all be in the description below. I think those plates go over the I/O and stuff. But it comes with a power cable. It actually uses the Mickey Mouse design. It's not the regular like PC power cable, but it's got a power supply built in, so that's helpful. In this case, this build's going to be very quick and simple just because of the way this case is designed. But that's the whole point of it. And we are going to be using the stock Intel cooler because it's going to be more than enough to cool this CPU. And yeah, so let's get the motherboard ready. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a top-down view as well. Okay, all right, so we're going to get the motherboard and go ahead and open it up. We've got the manual here and the drivers. I actually might need this because sometimes the drivers don't install with Windows. I'm not even sure what OS we're putting on this yet. I'm still waiting for that response, but driver CD might come in handy. We've got an I/O shield, which actually looked blue. We've got some really annoying antennas that I don't like. I despise these. Some SATA cables we don't need, so those can stay in the box. We're going to need the I/O shield. We've got the motherboard. We've also got the M.2 screw, which we are going to need because we are installing an M.2. And I'm sure, as all YouTubers say, we are going to be putting the motherboard on the box and using it as a little building station. Take this out. Like I said, it's a tiny boy, but it's quite the motherboard for it being so tiny, and it does take 8-pin, which is surprising. I don't know if that power supply's got 8-pin. I have zero clue. This is going to be my first time building in this case, so we are going to see how it goes. It's got USB 3, and I'm going to assume the I/O is here, and then this is where the SSD is, so let's do it. Let's go ahead and install the CPU first. I am going to need to get some thermal compound, but that should not be an issue at all. Pretty sure this is a 4-core, 8-thread CPU, if I'm not mistaken. I could be very, very wrong. In fact, I probably am wrong, but I mean, regardless, it's gonna do more. I don't think it's a dual core. I know that sometimes the desktop chips are, but I'm positive this is not a dual core, which I hope it's not because it's not good. Actually, I think the cooler comes with paste pre-applied, if I'm not mistaken. It does, so we can just use that paste. All right. And then we're going to take the CPU out, find the notch. So obviously right there. And then we want to look where the notch is on the casing. I'm going to take a wild gander and say it goes like this. And I was right. It's almost like I build computers. Only, oh, look at that. It says it right there. I'm just blind. Gotta love it. Ah, look at that. Now she's in. Put the RAM in first before we worry about the CPU cooler. We actually might wait to put the CPU cooler on until we can plug in the 8-pin power, just because if I don't, it might be a pain to do so. One stick. All right, line it up. This doesn't have the bottom retention bracket, which is weird. Some motherboards don't. I don't mind it, but it kind of throws me off sometimes. Makes it a little easier so you don't have to worry about 2 retention brackets to get the RAM out. And second stick. Problem solved. I think we're going to put the SSD in first, and then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and put it in the case and then try to see if there is a way we are going to mount down the motherboard, which it's only 4 screws, so it shouldn't be that hard. And I think the case comes with screws, thankfully, that fit the things that are in there. And I mean, it's only one orientation, so it's not like wherever the standoffs are, I'm going to have to move them. Got the WD blue. We're going to plop this in here. Grab the screw. I actually don't even have a screwdriver yet. I should probably get that, huh? Now, once the computer is built, I am going to do some testing, and I'll put some stuff on screen near the end of the video showing the performance, like what it can do and what it can't do. I'm not going to extensively test it just because, I mean, it's not really designed to be it's not designed to be a gaming PC. It's just for someone who can check their email and stuff. And I don't think these integrated graphics are going to game at all. Yeah, just like that. Look at that. And then I'm going to assume you pull out. Look at that. That's what she said. Oh, that's it? Look at that. All you have is your 8-pin and CPU power, and SATA, obviously, to plug in the SATA drive, but we don't even need to do that because it's just going to be an M.2. I would highly recommend, if you are going to build in this case, not to use SATA unless you absolutely need to. And if you do, make sure it's 3.5, or 2.5, sorry. You're not going to be able to fit a 3.5-inch drive in here. But that is all we need to do. All the standoffs are already there. This is a 200-watt power supply, too. That's going to be more than enough for this system. The system should last them years upon years. I don't think there'll be an issue with this system. I mean, it eventually will struggle because technology advances so fast, but it should last them, you know, a while. There we go. Let's get you out of my way. Now we're going to put the motherboard in first. Let me get the I/O shield. You guys probably want to have a better view of this, huh? Wow, I suck at this camera thing, don't I? Okay. Zoom out a little bit. You're going to see my messy area, but that's okay. It's just so you guys have a better view of everything. Slide it in, and then she's in. Nice. And then we're going to put the motherboard in. Let's just try to get it lined up, and then we can fight with the cables, just like that. I'm going to make sure you are up, because sometimes these little tabs get in the socket of the port, whatever port it is, and then it'll short it out. We don't want that. Come on, I/O shield. What are you doing? I didn't say you could come out. Get back in there, please. No, everything's lining up. It's just being stubborn because computers are stubborn. It's just not going in on this side, which means something is blocking it from doing so. I don't know what. I/O shield's in all the way. It's just my luck is what's going on. Okay, we're just gonna... There we go. Alright, let's get the screws. I don't know which motherboard screws are which, but I guess it doesn't really matter. As long as it works. It comes with a SATA, like, splitter. That's actually kind of genius right there. Now, this is only going to have one fan in it, which is going to be more than enough because the side's mesh, but don't be alarmed. I'm just going to say that the CPU is more than likely going to be plenty cool because it's a Core i3. Granted, Core i3s are pretty baller these days, but just like that. And then I guess I could run the cable under the PCIe slot. It's not like we're using it. Run the cable below the PCIe slot and boom. Now we can get the front panel plugged in. We can't use this 3.0 header because that kind of sucks. They have Type-C and they're not going to be able to use it because this motherboard doesn't have it. I'll have to change this motherboard out for one that does have it. That's okay. We can just, you know, for a small case, the cable management in here isn't as bad as I was hoping. Yeah, I wanted the cable management to be bad because that's... Alright, so we're going to plug in the front panel now. I believe usually the notch that doesn't have a pin in it is usually the one that's in the top left. So that should work. If I plugged it into something else, then we'll know when the computer doesn't turn on. I'm pretty sure I plugged it into the correct one though. Make sure nothing is stuck under it. Okay, perfect. And then what I was thinking is we kind of just shove it in here. And don't worry, I'm not putting a lot of force. I'm not going to break anything if I'm doing this. And it's not like we need the SATA connection, so that can all stay there. And I am going to use zip ties, don't worry. I am going to zip tie some stuff. But for now, I just kind of want to make it look pretty. And I mean, you can only do so much, and there's no front air intake on this case, so there's not really much of a point in me spending some time to do that. I think I'm going to route this way. Yeah, let's just do that, actually. I have to build one of these for myself. This thing is sweet. I like this case. Like I said, guys, if you want to get the parts, they're all going to be in the description below. Any part that you can get for this build is going to be in the description below. I'm going to make it look a little bit better in a minute, but let's just get the CPU cooler on. And it's got thermal paste pre-applied, so I'm not going to apply any thermal compound. I am going to figure out a way I want this cooler to go, and I think I just did. So we got CPU fan on the left, and then right is the chassis fan. So we want to plug you into here, and then you are going to go here. Come on. I don't know if to take this thing apart because this is going to be not fun to work with. Okay. 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 Look at that. Look at that. Like I said, it could look a little bit better, but she works. That's all that matters. Well, I don't know if she works yet, but we'll find out. I think what we're going to do is I'm going to go plug this in, and then if it works, we'll finish up the build. Just because I want to make sure it works before continuing. So we will be right back. Alrighty, guys, so the system is working, as you can see. We're going to go into the BIOS. We are in the BIOS. The CPU is sitting at 25 degrees. Imagine that. It's almost like I said the CPU would be fine. Ooh, we can put XMP on you. You're at a 3200 BB. So we got 16 gigs of RAM. The CPU is going to be running at 3300 megahertz, 1200. Our drive is showing up. The fan's barely running, and this is only going to have one fan. The motherboard temperature is at 26 degrees. CPU is doing pretty good. We are going to do a stress test. We have to do a 24-hour burn-in with the R systems. If you guys want to buy a system from us, you are more than welcome to. Go to the description below, click vtcc.coop, and you can see our options for systems. You might have a chance for your system to be in a video, and then you will have to pay for shipping just because we're in a different area compared to a lot of people, so just keep that in mind when doing it. But you will get a very high quality system from me that builds it, and you'll have a bunch of warranties and stuff. I think you also can get 6-month maintenance, which would be kind of difficult depending on where you live, but I just figured I'd mention that because, well, for one, it would help us out, and it would also help me out in terms of ability to, you know, keep doing these videos. But so the system is working. I'm going to go ahead and clean up the area. We're going to bring it back over there, and then I'll start getting some stress tests going, and then I can show you. And then, alrighty, guys, so before we start, we're going to go ahead and make sure the system is all zip tied up and looking good. I'm not really sure where I'm going to start just yet because I think I'm going to leave sun cables kind of just loose. Over here I am going to zip tie a little bit though, just to make it look a little cleaner. And then we'll do this. This is fine. I'm not going to worry about that. Cut these. And we're going to make sure these are all nice and kind of tucked away here. I think I'm going to put one more zip tie right here. You see, that's not what we want. We don't want these getting stuck on stuff, possibly shorting the motherboard out. So we're going to zip tie them up. Use these guys for that purpose. That looks way better. Make sure that's plugged in all the way. We're going to call that good. That looks good enough to me. Let's go ahead and get the side panel back on. And there goes the screw. I didn't realize I put the screw there. I must have forgotten about that. Went right into the CPU fan. You know how many times I've done that? Probably more times than I can count. So this is what it looks like with the side panel on. I wish they made GPUs small enough, but there's not even a spot for it because of how small this case is. But it's not really designed. If you want to build something like this and still game a little bit on it, I would definitely get an AMD APU, which I'm hoping to do a video on soon. I think that would be a fun little video. Let's get the front panel stickers on. I think I'm going to put them, we'll put them here at the top. Well, we'll put them here at the bottom. We're going to do the Core i3 sticker. I don't usually do this on like my personal builds, but for customer builds I do because, well, for one, it's just a custom. I'm not going to put the G.Skill sticker on just because it's just RAM. But that is it. This is the in-win case. I think it looks good. I think I'll take a couple pictures of it for the thumbnail. We'll be back. Alrighty, guys, so currently it's actually just starting. I reset it. I took the screenshots and put them so I could access them when I get home to edit this video, but the CPU got around 74 degrees max. I did not see it go above that. And the power for the watts being pulled from the CPU is about 50 watts, which is what to be expected. And I was correct. It is a 4-core, 8-thread chip. So I'm going to let this go for 24 hours. I'm going to probably find a way to connect to it. That way I can connect to it and stop it in 24 hours. That way it's not going the whole time. But I'll put a picture on screen now. I have a picture from when it just started just to see what it was at, and then I have a picture of after 30 minutes. The results from 30 minutes to 24 hours aren't going to vary much. If they do, I can put them on screen now. If I didn't put them on screen, they didn't vary at all. I won't really know. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like. If you guys did not enjoy the video, please drop a dislike. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video, and peace out.